Today I'm going to rank every single brawler and judge their skill, like if a brawler needs high skill or if a brawler needs absolutely no skill. We'll talk a bit about the brawlers, what makes them hard to master or what makes them easy to master. So have much fun with this video and enjoy this tier list. So we are starting right away with 8-bit. So 8-bit is the start. I will not start from like with Shelly down here. So we will start with 8-bit, like just doing this order. And 8-bit, to be honest, 8-bit is definitely not no skill because you need to aim with him. He has a lot of HP. He's slow. So I think he's actually not that easy to master. I would rank him as high skill because I think you really need to know how to play him. You need aim. You need definitely good movement, good game sense to use your turret wisely, to play good gem carry, to help your lanes. You know, you cannot dodge that much with the brawler and he has 10k HP, so I would not rank him very high. That's around high skill or average skill if you want to play him actually good. So for me, this one gets a high skill. For Amber, I would say the same. I would say Amber needs high skill. I don't think very high skill cap. With the flames surrounding you, they are like not that hard to use. Just use them on walls. So if like assassin going or like any tank going aggressive on you, then you can just use them, or using the oil to farm your super. That's like basic mechanics. I would say, well, actually I would rank a very high skill cap, to be honest. So I think Amber is not an easy brawler, especially with the aim. There's like many people just spamming auto aim with Amber, but that does not mean that this brawler is easy to play. So you can literally do so much more with Amber, especially if you aim, if you want to use your gadget right, hold lanes with the flame, especially with that slowing mythic gear. So I think Amber actually has a very high skill cap. And Ashe, I think Ashe is high skill. I think I would actually rank 8-bit a bit down to like average skill, because I think Ashe needs more skill than 8-bit does. You really need to know how to play this brawler, especially with the ult, when to use your gadget, losing all your rage when you heal. So definitely not an easy brawler. If you combine that with a Byron, I think Ashe, there's a lot of potential with Ashe. Barley. Barley is a thrower. Not much mechanics, to be honest. You just throw on walls. You have that slow gadget or heal gadget. That's not really about skill, I would say. I would say Barley's easy to master. Yeah, Barley's easy to master. Also, the super is nothing really hard about Barley. So I think this is a pretty easy one. I'll just stick to that. B. So B is complicated because she's a sniper. You need very good aim. You need good dodging. I would say B is high skill. Yeah, B's high skill. Absolutely. Same for Bell, because these are like snipers. You always will need like good aim. If you have bad aim, then you won't be good on these brawlers. Obviously, you can hit auto aim shots on low elos, but the higher the elo gets, the better your opponents will dodge, and you just need that good aim. You need to hit your shots. And the mid lane is most of the time the most important lane, because you need to help your lanes. And I would say the snipers here are on high skill level. BB, I think BB, I think you can say many things wrong here. So you have a one technique where you can do a double hit. If you play that right, BB is really useful. Also with the speed, BB can be really good at dodging. You do have a lot of counters, and I think BB has a very high skill cap. I think you can do so much with this brawler. I don't think she's very easy to play. It could be that I'm later in this video like dropping down some brawlers because I changed my mind on them, or just think other brawlers are much harder to play and stuff. But for now, I would say BB is a very high skill cap. Bonnie is average skill. It is a mid laner, but it's way easier to hit your shots with Bonnie. I would say 3 attacks for the super. Like in highs, you know what to do. Jumping in that highs, doing the damage. Also quite usable in duels, by the way. Like Bonnie is a very good duels brawler, for sure. I would say Bonnie is average skill. Maybe even easy to master. If I think about 8-bit or Bonnie, like who's harder to play? Like with Bonnie, you just click your gadget, farm those 3 auto aim attacks, and then you jump. Might be actually easy to master, I think. Yeah, Bonnie is really not that hard. Bo. Bo's not in the meta right now. Actually, I think he's still decent. Like in Showdown, he's not playable. But in 3v3, I think he's okay. Not really used that often. Chasing your mines and stuff. I would say average skill. I think a Bonnie is way easier to play than a Bo. So I put him on average. I don't think anything too special about him. You know, you just play the stun star power. Play the totem probably for holding your mid lane, pinching and stuff. But yeah, I think he's like average skill. I don't think there's any very much complicated, or like he's also not too easy. The shoot pattern is not that simple, so I think it's average. Brock is high skill, I would say. So if you know how to play Brock, like keep enemies on range to actually make use of your hitbox, not letting them into mid-range, definitely not easy to play. And I actually would rank him on very high skill cap, but I think a brawler like Bibi is harder to master. You have like much more potential with skill on Bibi than you have on Brock. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think high skill fits him quite well. Okay, so Bull, so he's not no skill. Definitely not no skill. There's a lot of potential with Bull. Easy to master? I also wouldn't say so. I would say Bull is actually average skill. So I think a Bull is harder to play than a Barley or a Bonnie. I think on average skill, you know, you have a skill gadget. You need to know how to use your gadget. Your super is not that simple. You can do so many good plays with Bull actually. So he might even be high skill. It depends. Like if you just play Bull in Cavernshire and push him to rank 20 well and two-shot some people in the bush there. Yeah, obviously Bull is not a hard brawler then. But if you look at this brawler on another perspective, like how much potential he has, he might be a high skilled brawler. But yeah, maybe like average skill. For now, I put him on average skill. I don't want to, you know, be too dramatic about it, but I think Bull does need some skill, obviously. Buzz, in my opinion, has a very high skill cap, especially in Showdown. So on 3-3, he might be more easy to play, but in Showdown, you can actually fake your super. You know, I already did that Shelly dodge with Buzz. That is insanely hard to pull off, but the overall skill cap with Buzz is very high. I think you can do so much with this brawler. Also with the gadget in the right hands, Buzz is a S tier god pick, I believe. So we put him here. Now Byron, we definitely go on high skill. Healing your teammates isn't that hard, but some people still miss it somehow. You still need aim. He might be even very high skill cap because it's not like only playing damage Byron, you know, just playing him in the mid, trying to do some damage. I think you also need to be aware of healing your allies. So I think Byron is actually very high skill cap, I believe, because there's a lot more that you should do with his brawler than just winning your lane. On Carl, I go with average skill, maybe even high skill, because his pickaxe is like main attack is not the easiest one. So I consider him, yeah, I would go with average skill. I think the only hard part about Carl is doing good swipes with your pickaxe, like hitting the shots. But I think overall he's not the hardest brawler. By the way, this tier list isn't supposed to mean that it's 100% right. You know, you can have different opinions. Don't roast me or anything. It's just my basic game sense, the things I learned in games and in Brawl Stars and how I feel about things. But it doesn't have to be right, you know. It can also be wrong. Colette, easy to master, to be honest. Yeah, like hit your 4 shots, hit that heist save, use your gadget if you're low. I mean, come on. Colette is really not that hard. It's like a very simple brawler. You click a lot of auto aim with his brawler. I say she's easy to master. And Cold, obviously no talking. Very high skill cap. Cold is a very hard brawler, very tough one to play. We surely put him on very high skill cap here. And for Crow, man, that's a tough one again. Crow doesn't have a typical high damage. He's supposed to poke enemies, keeping them low, doing good slows. So he's definitely at least high skill, if not maybe even very high skill cap. It's very hard to tell. I consider actually putting him to very high skill cap because, yeah, it's not just typical shoot and dodge brawler or whatever. Like Crow has so much more. Keep your enemies low, poke them, do a good slow for your team, or in Showdown, like use your gadgets wisely. You need to get your super. So Crow is really hard to play in my opinion. Like to play him good, everyone can play Crow, but not everyone can play Crow in a good way. So I take him here. Maybe it's like high skill, very high skill cap, around these two here, I think. Using your jump in a good way, so yeah, probably very high skill cap. Alright, so we get to Daryl, and Daryl also like average skill rolling in. You can hit that 9k gadget, you know, that requires some skill, that requires game sense to know how you actually can hit that 9k damage on the save. But beside that, I think you just roll into enemies, you roll into that heist save and so on, and doing that damage. I don't think there is a hard brawler to understand. Might be even easy to master, but especially because of that 9k gadget, and he gets his super automatically, I consider him playing easy to master. Not the gadget though, not the gadget, but I think Daryl isn't really that hard. Okay, Edgar. Yeah, you will hate me, like I will get a lot of hate, bro, but Edgar is not going to no skill. Like Edgar is not being no skill. I will get cancelled, I will get so much hate, but I just cannot put him to no skill, guys. I just can't, because I think making the right decisions with your gadget, like when to use it, how to use your jump, whatever, I keep Edgar on no skill. I don't want to feel that roast. I just keep him on no skill. You click gadget, you jump in, you kill everyone, and then you win the game. So yeah, I just put him no skill, whatever. I think it's not that easy to play Edgar, you know, especially against certain types of brawlers. But yeah, you're probably right. There's a lot of brawlers with Edgar where you can just jump in, kill them, and it requires literally no skill. So for the YouTube fans, I just get him on no skill. But Amps for sure. The gadget, super positioning, I would say maybe high skill. Yeah, I think Amps is not that easy to play. I think many people play her wrong. I would say Amps is not that easy to play. So the high skill. And Eve, yeah, Eve is just bad. So it's hard to rank her because she's really just not a good brawler. She's just being dominated by Angelo. But overall, like if I get back to the old days where I played Eve, on Showdown she was always no skill, but in 3v3 it was more like, it was not easy to play her. I consider her as average skill. Like not easy, not too hard. I think that's the spot for her right now. And Fang, yeah, I think Fang is easy to master. Get your 4 shots, and Fang is like the most easy brawler to actually do a triple kill. I don't think you need a lot of skill. Like just dash in, pick your gadget, do another hit, then just keep dashing. And I don't think it's that complicated to play Fang. It's an easy assassin. Probably most of the assassins are going to have a lower skill cap. And Frank now has a rework. Now with lower HP, his animation is way faster, and I think that's definitely no skill. Especially with the hypercharge, stunning everyone. This brawler will be absolutely no skill, just broken. I think that fits quite well here. And Gale, I think still an auto-aim brawler. Like Gale is an auto-aim brawler with the slow star power, the jump pad, or the tornado. I think he's easy to master. Yeah, I put him on easy. Jean definitely needs high skill. Like hitting these pulls is not that easy. Keeping control for your team, playing vision gear on him. So I think he needs high skill. Like not very high skill cap, but I would say high skill. We get to the next one, which is Griff. Yeah, Griff is not seen very often, that's for sure. I think if you play him, he's average skill. I think he's an average brawler. Like the super is easy to hit. The main attacks are also not that super hard to hit, you know. Star power is simple, gadget is simple. I consider him as average skill, but I think Gale is still easier to play, or like us or Daryl. Griff does need some more skill, especially with that main auto attack. You do not hit everything. And Grom, yeah, like if you know how to play him on which maps, like Bell's Rock for example, I believe that he's easy to master. You just throw, you have that one gadget that does a triple tap, and if you play against Mortis in a 1v1, obviously you lose, so there's nothing to do for you. You can just make sure that you have a good map awareness, a good game sense, but I think Grom is easy to master. And Jackie, also my opinion, easy to master. For Brawler, you can like click your super, do that ball with that technique. Your gadget is simple, all attacks you don't even need to aim. Most likely you just run into enemies. Maybe she's even no skill, to be honest. Playing the great combos with her, I think she might be even no skill. She's just simple to play. Only thing that is hard about her, learning the positions and stuff, but overall it's a very simple mechanical brawler, and we put her here. Janet, also not in the meta right now, is average skill, I would say. I think she's an underrated gem carry, does not seem very often. She doesn't have a hypercharge. There's brawlers like Max, etc. that have a hypercharge used more often right now. With the hypercharge, Janet might be much more valuable and will have another chance in the meta, but I think she's not that hard to master, not that easy. We put her here. Jessie, also very good in the meta, gem carry. I think there was some heist maps back in the days where you played Jessie also. Good in hot zone. I think Jessie is also like average skill. Yeah, I would put her average skill. Like you still need to hit your shots, need to know how to place the turret, using slows, when to place, when not to, holding your middle. It's not easy to aim with Jessie, so yeah, average skill. And Leon, I put Leon to, man, that's so hard. You could say he's like easy to master because you just click super and kill someone. You could also say there's so much more about Leon. In Showdown, for example, if you don't team, especially me, if I do like this no teaming stuff and I play Leon, it's like really hard to pull off nice plays. But with that super, it's just so much easier to get your kills and be very useful. So he might be a more easy to master brawler, even when I don't like to say that that because I think Leon actually has a high skill cap and you can do a lot more with him. Nah, I cannot put him here, bro. Nah, I think Leon actually needs to be high skill. Yeah, I think Leon needs to be high skill. If someone says like, no, Leon is easy, blah, 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 I think people have a point. But the potential Leon has is so high, I believe. Like, not just going in, doing that one kill, but actually rotating kill by kill, cycling your super, learning that, learning your main attack pattern. It's not easy to hit like your shots with Leon unless you're like 1 meter away from a target. But if you're not, you actually need to hit some good aim there. So I think Leon is fine on high skill. Lou, in the other hand, only thing you need with Lou is some decent aim. The gadget, the super itself and stuff, it's not really hard. It's like the hot zone brawler #1. I think Lou is easy to master. Really nothing hard about him. Only reason to not putting him to no skill is that you need some aim, but that's really it. And Max has a very high skill cap. Learning this brawler, playing this brawler as a team brawler, keeping control, winning your lanes against snipers, against brawlers that have more range, doing the dodges. You need to dodge so well with Max, with a lot of potential. So yeah, Max definitely has a very high skill cap. For Dynamite, we could argue because there's so many people that love to play Dynamite, and I think he has a very high skill cap because at the end of the day you just gotta hit your stuff, bro. And if you have seen some people that know how to play Dynamite and then you see some people that do not know how to play Dynamite, then you know that Dynamite has a very high skill cap, especially because his shots are not a 100% safe guaranteed hit. It's definitely not. You need to read your enemies. So yeah, for me, very high skill cap. And Mortis, I would put him on high skill. Well, actually no, let's put him on very high skill cap. I think, yeah, we have seen all the RZM 64 videos. We have seen the physics videos. So many people meaning that Mortis playing so good with him. So, you know, Mortis does have a lot of potential. I would actually consider him playing very high skill cap. And with Mr. P, it's more like easy to master. Your super is not skill based. Your main attack is not really skill based. If that Mortis is dashing into you, you know you're dead, but there's not really anything that could boost your performance on Mr. P, to be honest, except that basic movement and stuff. But Nani, in the other hand, is high skill. Hitting that bomb, hitting your shots and stuff, that needs a skill, definitely. Reacting on the Piper shots, for example, with the gadget, I think Nani needs a lot of skill. So putting her on high skill. Nita, yeah. If I imagine like a Nita having a Sandy lane, it's quite easy to play her. Also against tanks, I don't think it's very hard. Place your bear, play aggressive. So probably more like easy to master. Otis, in the other hand, is average skill. Farm your super, and when that Fang supers your team, you just click that super and your problem is solved. So I think Otis is average skill, yeah. Pam, oh man, what about Pam? I think Pam is also like average skill. Need to use your gadget in a useful way. Placing your turrets. Most likely you play her with healing combos, so I don't know if that is too much skill, to be honest. But I think especially in this meta, it's not that easy to pull off very nice plays with Pam, so I consider her average skill, I believe. Same goes for Penny. You know, you just have basic rules. Place your gadget when you're getting engaged by a tank or assassin. Place your mortar to piss off people. And you have a short range, so most likely you're going to play auto aim, but it depends. It depends. Like if you face a sniper, you obviously aim, or face some ranged brawlers, you always want to aim. I think Penny is not that hard to play. And Piper's high skill. It's a sniper, so most likely snipers are just high skill. Poco is no skill brawler, I'm sorry, but you know, if you play Showdown, you're dead, and if you play 3v3, just playing with some 2 tank combo, heal your allies. It's not really hard to play Poco. It doesn't need aim. Only thing it needs is basic movement, but yeah, Poco's no skill for sure. I think Primo's also easy to master. Like Piper, for example, Piper needs aim. Piper's super, Piper's gadget, there's so many things that you need to care about when playing Piper. What with Primo, you just box that guy, super him from away sometimes, and that's it, you know. Like I don't think Primo's too hard to play, to be honest. Like just go in and kill everyone. I think a Penny like is basically harder to play, or also a Pam is harder to play than a Primo. And Rico, yeah, I would say Rico's also high skill. I don't think Rico's that easy to play. Truly, you just bounce your things to the wall and try to win your lane like this on certain maps. But I think especially with your super and stuff, and if you really want to be useful, getting an engage engage on the mid, winning that lane, and also in showdown, finding the right angle to always hit your target. I would consider him as high skill. That might be too high. Maybe it's like average skill, but I think Rico needs some skill. And Rosa on the other hand, yeah, honestly, easy to master. Like, tell me what should be hard about Rosa. Using that super, blocking any damage, speed gear in the bushes, play on bushy maps, slow your enemies down, click auto aim. Maybe not run straight into that bull, for example, to avoid some damage, but that's easy rules, so easy to master is the perfect fit here. And Ruff's also, if Rico gets high skill, then Ruff's also gets high skill. That's just fair, I guess. I'll put him here. And Sandy's also easy to master. Not much talking. Stun gadget. Main attack is basic. Doesn't need much aim. Super is basic. Play the damage, star power. Keep your enemies low. I think that's just basic. Everything about this brawler. What about Shelly? What about Shelly? What about Shelly? Shelly is such a complicated topic, to be honest. Ah, man, I think you can do so many things wrong with Shelly, but on the other hand, it's not that hard to do that much wrong with Shelly. Man. I think Shelly is average skill. I say average skill. Lola, also average skill, I would say. Yeah, I think average skill. Don't think anything too hard about her. Cool, hit your shots, but about the clone and the gadget stuff, I think she's average. Meg also got a rework. It's now easier to hit her shots, so I think she's still easy to master. That makes her even easier. Range is a bit shorter now, but overall, like, high HP range brawler. That's a easy one. And Spike, like, playing against Spike would be like very high skill cap because of, you know, dodging that curveball. But since that's not meant, we want to talk about the brawler itself. Brawler itself is more like average skill again. It's similar to Lola or Pam, Penny, etc. in that range. And the curveball actually makes a brawler quite easy because there's so many people, like, I don't understand why people are not practicing that, but no one can dodge a Spike curveball. Like, no one just can. So it might be even easy to master because, you know, but I think it's just fair to do average skill. I'm also thinking about the curveball that you need to learn how to dodge that. So yeah, I think I just put him here. Sprout has very high potential. You've seen it. You can knock up yourself with Sprout and actually dodge certain engages with that. You can also knock up your enemy to cancel the super. You can longer your range by using a wall to extend your range, like a bouncer with Rico or Ruffs. I'm not sure if with Rico or Bust the range actually extends if you hit a wall. I'm not sure. You may write that in a comment. If you're actually at this point watching the video and you hear what I'm saying, tell me in a comment. I would really appreciate it if some people actually watch that long and support me like this. For sure, leave a comment right now so I can read that and be happy that you're here. Oh yeah, and if I'm saying it already, make sure to leave a subscription. We almost hit the 1 million subscribers. I would really appreciate it. Much love to everyone. And yeah, so there's a high skill cap on Sprout in my opinion, so he gets a very high skill cap, but that's just my opinion because there's too much potential with this brawler. Squeak in the other hand is average skill. Yeah, like the sticky bombs. Yeah, might be high skill because you need to know how to place your gadgets. It's not that easy to hold control with him. He's not in the meta. He's not very good brawler right now because I cannot judge him precisely because of that. If a brawler's not meta and just countered by many things, it's hard to say if a brawler needs like skill or not. But for now, I would say average skill. I don't think he's an easy brawler, so I tend more to put him on high skill than to easy to master for sure. But since I'm not 100% sure about Squeak, I put him here. 2, very high skill cap, insane brawler, nice assassin, range assassin. Doesn't deal that much damage, but in the right hands can be so annoying, pull off insanely good plays, which is I rank him as very high skill cap. Surge, damn. I mean, I'm biased here. I don't know if I can judge Surge in the right way because I'm just biased. I may need some help here. So if you say like Surge is not what I say here, definitely not no skill. We don't have to talk about that. He's also not easy to master. Definitely not. So he's at least at average skill. But I say he's high skill. Like I don't want to put him on very high skill, but I think he's high skill definitely. Just watch my videos and you know what I mean. You can pull off a lot with his brawler. And with Terra, we go for average skill, maybe even high skill. I think average skill. I don't think it's that easy to hit your pulls, like doing a good pull on your Terra, using your gadgets in the right way, playing with that range. But since I'm not 100% sure, I don't want to do anything wrong, so I pick here with average skill and take a snow skill. Get that kid down here. Bro, I don't want to hear anything. No, Tick is just annoying. Like the best brawler for people that are just lazy learning a game or, you know, one way of first rank 30. So my opinion, there's nothing too special about Tick. Like he's just annoying and spam your auto attacks, just don't die and you're done. But Gus is high skill for sure, Yeah, needs good aim. To make good use of your shield, using that gadget in the right way. Need to think if you want to pop your ghost, your spirits, or if you don't want to. Giving your teammates shield. I think Gus is high skill. Could consider placing him on high skill cap. I think high skill is fine. Well, actually, since he's a support brawler, you can do a lot with him. I think Gus has a very high skill cap. Yeah, especially because he's like a damage dealer, mid and support brawler at the same time. I think it's hard to master all three aspects of him. Same goes for Sam. Very high skill cap. More like a tank and an assassin at the same time. Making use of your gloves. Having good movement. Doing good decisions with him. Surely Sam needs a lot of practice to master him. And Buster is easy to master, in my opinion. Like farming your super on your teammates. Gadget and stuff is also not complicated. You know, you can pull enemies using that shield. Maybe I put him on average skill. Yeah, I put him on average skill. Chester's also high skill because he has different type of supers. And it's not easy to make use of your super, like reaching the maximum potential with him. Learning stuff when to shoot with your main attacks, because you shouldn't always just waste your fourth auto attack with Chester, which is also reworked, by the way. So fourth attack is now a basic passive ability of him. So I think he's definitely not easy to play. Ray also high skill. If you play him with Rosa and Jackie on that hot zone map, then he definitely does not need too much skill. But the brawler itself, or the brawler himself, does require a lot of skill, in my opinion. It's not easy to hit your targets, to hit that gadget, doing good plays with your super. I think Gray has a high skill cap. Obviously not if played with the wrong combos, but we're talking about the brawler, and the brawler I think needs high skill. Same goes for Mandy. You know, if you're a good Mandy, hitting your shots, hitting your supers, a lot of potential, and if you don't hit it, then you're just useless. Mandy definitely high skill. Same for RT, knowing how to use that gadget, the new one, when to use it, especially in Showdown. Aim is not easy. It's a very thin main attack that barely hits enemies, so you need very good aim, even better aim than Piper and stuff, because your hitbox is just smaller with that auto attack. That already makes him a skilled brawler. Willow, it's the next thrower on the list. Might be high skill. I mean, it's still a thrower. Maybe average skill. I say high skill. Like, making a good gadget is not a basic thing. It's definitely not a basic thing. Using your super in a good way. Also on Showdown. Yeah, I would say high skill. There's, again, a lot of potential here. Now we have Hank. Is Hank no skill? Nah, he's not easy to master. Yeah, he's easy to master, I would say. He's not no skill. No skill are like broken brawlers or just annoying brawlers. Yeah, Hank is not no skill. Hank is easy to master, I would say. The little meme boy, always getting memed on my channel. Poor guy. Maisie high skill, no talking. Cordelia's also high skill, maybe? Yeah. Oh, it doesn't depend on if the brawler itself is a strong brawler, and you know, the brawler just has a lot of damage and you can do easy kills on brawlers. That's not what I'm judging him. That's not what I'm rating. I'm rating what is the potential that you can reach with a brawler. For example, with a Tick, you're just annoying. You're just throwing your stuff. With Mac, for example, you don't need insane aim. You just hit if your enemy is in range. Same for Sandy and stuff. But with Cordelius, it is not easy to do a good super, to do a good rotation, to know when to go in and when not to. Also in Showdown, doing the plays with rotating with your gadget, spawning into a Shelly, then doing intelligent kills there. So I think high skill cap here. And by the way, I would consider putting RT to very high skill, to be honest, because his shots are so thin. And also the gadget needs game sense. Overall, yeah, in the right hands, can carry a game solo for sure. A great help for the lanes. You like hit that one shot and then your teammate can just do a 4k hit, so give him that. Maybe I should put Maisie also up there then. I don't know. Duck is no skill. Sorry, Duck, but it is what it is. It's just no skill. Most likely you play with that great combo again. Or in Brawl Ball, he also works. I think he works in Brawl, yeah, for sure. Pearl, what am I doing with Pearl? Pearl, average skill. Playing with your heat bars, not that easy. Gadget is quite no skill. Super is quite no. I put it on average. Chuck is no skill. Like, man, Chuck is like a highest brawler. Playing him in highest, playing 4 stations, taking super all the time. That's like absolutely no skill. Chuck doesn't need any skill. Carly's like, yeah, same. It's like also average skill. There's some aspects that make her really easy to play and some aspects that make her quite hard to play. And Miko is not only underrated, but also has a very high skill cap, I believe. Miko in the right hands, if you play Miko very well, she can do so many stuff happening. So yeah, I think very high skill cap is good on her. It is no skill. Do I have to say anything? Do I have to say say anything about Kit to rank her no skill. Just watch my previous videos. Just, you know, the last weeks were so terrible. This brawler deserves to be on the no skill forever. Like, Kit was insanity. Larry is like also a brawler that is easy to master, I believe. Really nothing hard about him. Basic thrower. Angelo also on high skill because Angelo needs good aim. I think Angelo is a high skill brawler. Some people will say that's dumb because he does so much damage and it's actually easy to play because he's such a good brawler at the moment. But I'm repeating myself. I'm not judging like how good is the brawler at the moment. I'm judging how much potential does the brawler have and how easy, how hard is it to master him, to play him. And the shots are really hard to hit. So for me it's high skill. Also in combination with the super and movement and all that kind of stuff. Melody. I'm sorry guys, but I think she's no skill in my opinion. Because it's most likely you farm your super. In Brawler you can do free trick shots, like free scores at all. In Jam Grab you can just rush into the enemy in a hot zone. You just farm your super, die, and then you instantly rush that mid again. I think Melody is actually a very no skill brawler. I think they should rework her super or something. Because if a brawler can just die and then rush to the mid all the time, just score by using her super, that's not too good. And don't come along and say, but she has nose and you need to stay on the perfect range and stuff. I don't want to hear that. Melody is no skill because it's too easy to abuse this brawler. She's banned everywhere and that for a reason. So everyone can play this brawler well. We put her here. Same goes for Draco. Just get on your dragon, spam auto attack, blame everything up. I don't think that's very much skill, so I put him here. And Lily, the last brawler of this list, will get, I don't know, it's like average skill. So she doesn't have very high skill cap. She doesn't have no skill. I wouldn't say she's easy to master, so I'm considering putting her on high skill or average skill. And I would say that it's, yeah, I put her on high skill. I think with her gadget, super and stuff, she can pull off a lot of nice plays. And that's it with the tier list. This has been a very long video once again. Let me know what do you think about this tier list. Alright, so we have on very high skill cap. Let's sum it up here. Brawlers like Amber, BB, Buzz, Byron, Colt. Okay, I will not read everyone actually, but I think this is pretty accurate. There's brawler like Mortis and Sprout and Stu. All of those brawlers have so much potential. Also RT, Sam, high skill brawlers that really needs experienced players to play them or to play them good at all. Maybe Buzz is even a bit ranked too high. Maybe I put him on high skill at the end of the day. Yeah, I think that might be the better decision. I think no, it's a bit better. On high skill, we have a lot of snipers and I think that fits quite well. The only sniper that is high skill is RT because his shots are just thinner than the other ones. Also Max, because Max has just more potential than a typical sniper, I would say. Brawlers like Gray, Mandy, Angelo. I think it fits very well here. Just not 100% sure about that Leon on high skill or Ash. I could be wrong about that, but I hope it is fine. Average skill is more for brawlers that are like 8-bit, for example, is basically a ranged brawler, but he has a lot of HP, is slow. But at the end of the day, you cannot do that much, but you still need some game sense to make use of them. Same for Bo, Bull, Carl, etc. There's like nothing too hard about them, but they still need that basic game sense, or they need to be played to collect some experience on them and play them better over time. And brawlers that are easy to master, you know, the typical auto aim brawlers or brawlers that farm their super automatically, like Ariel, for example. You know, you get your super, you dash in and that's it. Same for Fang, doing a triple kill, just get your super, do a triple and you're fine. Grom, there's not a lot of things you can do with a Grom, you know. You just keep throwing, you need good 2 strong lanes. Same for Lu, you know, you have that one game plan, farm your super, close that one main entrance in hot zone, for example, keep your enemies out of the game, or super a zone to get control back. And the no skill brawlers are pretty obvious ones. I think everything is accurate here in the no skill tab. Edgar, Frank, Jackie, Poco,